It starts with the cold. Not the kind of cold that makes you shiver, but the kind that settles deep in your marrow.
The kind of winter silence where the snapping of a twig sounds like a gunshot. You are alone in the deep woods of the north. Maybe you're hunting, maybe you're hiking, but suddenly you realize the birds have stopped singing. The wind has died down.
And the air smells faintly of wet ash and rotting meat.
If you hear your name called from the darkness, do not answer.
If you see a tall, gaunt shadow moving between the pines, do not run, because if you have seen it, it has already been stalking you for days. This is not a wolf. This is not a bear. This is the spirit of lonely places.
The embodiment of insatiable hunger. This is the Wendigo.
Welcome back. Today we are not just telling a ghost story.
We are looking at a survival guide for one of the most terrifying creatures in Native American folklore. We're going to separate the Hollywood myths from the terrifying ancient truths.
Before we step into the frozen woods, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.
You don't want to be out here alone in the dark without a guide.
To understand how to survive a Wendigo, you first have to understand what you are fighting.
Pop culture, movies, video games, they often paint the Wendigo as a deer man, a creature with antlers and a skull for a face.
But the original legends from the Algonquian-speaking peoples, the Ojibwe, the Saulteaux, the Cree, tell a story that is much more disturbing. In the original lore, the Wendigo is human, or at least it used to be. It is described as emaciated, with skin pulled so tight over its bones that it looks like a walking corpse.
Its complexion is the color of death, gray like ash. Its eyes are pushed back deep into their sockets, glowing like burning coals. It is a giant, growing in size every time it eats. And that is the curse. The Wendigo is the spirit of greed and gluttony. No matter how much human flesh it consumes, it is never full. It is always starving. It eats, it grows, and the hunger returns, worse than before. So you aren't just fighting a monster. You are fighting the physical manifestation of starvation. And unlike a bear or a wolf, this predator is intelligent. It has human memories. It knows how you think. Let's say you're in the woods. How do you know you're being hunted?
The Wendigo doesn't just attack, it toys with its prey. It feeds on your fear before it feeds on your flesh. Sign number 1, the odor. Accounts from folklore describe a stench that hits you before you see anything.
A mix of decay, decomposition, and something uniquely strange, like sour wet fur. If the wind shifts and you smell death in the dead of winter, turn around. Sign number 2, mimicry. This is the most dangerous tool in its arsenal. Because the Wendigo was once human, it remembers human speech, but it doesn't understand it. It just repeats it. You might hear a voice that sounds like your hiking partner, or a child crying, or even your own voice echoing back to you. But listen closely. The cadence will be wrong, too fast, too high-pitched. If you hear a familiar voice coming from the deep woods at 3 a.m., do not investigate. And finally, sign number 3, nature's reaction. Animals know what the Wendigo is. And finally, sign number 3, nature's reaction. Animals know what the Wendigo is. It means
The apex predator has arrived.
But here is where the survival guide gets tricky. Sometimes the Wendigo isn't out there in the woods. Sometimes it's in the cabin with you. Historically, the Wendigo also referred to a very real medical and psychological condition known as Wendigo Psychosis.
During harsh winters, when food was scarce and communities were isolated by snowstorms, the fear of starvation could drive people to madness.
Individuals would become convinced they were possessed by the spirit. They would develop an intense craving for human flesh, even if other food was available. In their eyes, their family members began to look like food. This was a very real danger in the historical North. So, survival rule number 1, watch your companions. If the isolation starts getting to them, if they stop eating normal food, if they start talking about the voices in the wind, you might be dealing with a transformation. Okay, let's assume the worst has happened. The smell is in the air, the mimicry has started. You are being hunted. Can you kill it? Forget your guns. According to lore, a Wendigo's skin is like armor. Bullets, knives, arrows, they will bounce off or pass through without slowing it down. It heals too fast. It moves faster than the human eye can track. Running is also not an option. It strikes from the treetops. It glides over the snow without leaving deep tracks. If you run, you just trigger its predatory instinct. You will die tired. Your only weapon is fire. The Wendigo is a creature of ice and cold. Its heart is literally made of ice. The legends say that to destroy a Wendigo, you must shatter that frozen heart. Some modern interpretations suggest silver, similar to a werewolf, but the traditional method is fire. You must burn the body to ash. You must melt the heart of ice. If you can trap it or surround yourself with a ring of fire, you might stand a chance. But the most effective survival tactic? It's prevention. The Wendigo is drawn to greed, selfishness, and the violation of taboos. In the old stories, those who hoarded food while others starved were the ones most likely to turn. Survival isn't just about combat. It's about community. It's about sharing resources. The Wendigo attacks the lonely and the selfish. So, stay together. Keep the fire bright. And never, ever give in to the hunger. There is a reason this legend has survived for thousands of years. It isn't just a monster story to scare kids. It's a warning. The Wendigo represents a very human fear. The fear of losing our humanity. The fear that if we are pushed too far, if we get too hungry or too greedy, we become monsters. It's a reminder that the line between man and beast is thinner than we think. If you find yourself in the deep woods and you hear the trees cracking in the bitter cold, remember this guide. Keep your wits. Keep your fire burning. And if you hear your name whispered on the wind, don't look back. That is the legend of the Wendigo, a creature of cold, hunger, and endless greed. What do you think? Is the Wendigo just a metaphor for cabin fever and starvation? Or is there something really stalking the forests of North America? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. If you enjoy this deep dive into folklore survival, please destroy that like button. And don't forget to subscribe for more guides to the unknown. Stay safe out there and keep the fire burning. I'll see you in the next one.
Stay hungry. Just kidding.